Welcome back to 910 Rage J. You got Jay, it's me, it's him, it is I. Alright, so today, right now, I'm busy working on the car real quick, doing an oil change on her. As y'all can see, already got the oil drained. Just drained the oil. Now I gotta go back under the car, put the plug back in, take out the old oil filter, put the new one in. Got a new one right here. And then I gotta add the oil, which I already got. And then we're gonna top her off, take it for a little test drive, and that should help with the gas mileage. That is one. No, this is my message today for y'all. If you don't know how to change the oil, YouTube it, figure out how to change the oil. For me, that ain't my case, but I'm just saying, if you wanna learn, be willing to learn, YouTube it. YouTube University is the best university. You can learn anything pretty much for free. Also, with that being said, you ain't always got to pay an arm and a leg to do maintenance on your car. Sometimes it's cheaper to do it yourself, and sometimes it's better to do it yourself. Oil change really don't take that long. 15, 20 minutes. Today it took me longer. It took me like an hour, only for the simple fact I was literally drove to Puerto and back to Rota, and it's like 104 degrees, so that affect the oil temperature, so the oil is super hot. So I let it cool down for a bit. Now pretty much almost done getting oil change in this car. But we're gonna resume. Maybe I'll show y'all some underneath the car. I don't know. We'll see. I'm under the car. I already got my drain plug back. It's cleaned up. It's looking nice. Like I said, the oil's already drained. I got a little bit on the ground just from it leaking. I just took the oil drain pan out. I'm gonna get as much excess oil off the bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna hand tighten this drain plug in. I already got my wrench down here from what I used earlier. And then I'm gonna go ahead, tighten her up a little bit. And next we're gonna move to the actual filter, which is on the front of the engines. I know a lot of Nissans and Hondas, typically the oil filter is like on the side of the engine instead of the bottom. More or less like a lot of more American-made cars. Nissan is still technically not American. It is sold, it's more known in America now, but it's not an American-made car. All right. So we got that joint tight, y'all. Now I'm gonna slide up a little bit more. Dang, I leave my clothes. Now I got my clothes. Now I gotta give you for a lot of people who do oil changes, sometimes you can use these things. I call them claws, but it ain't nothing but oil change, oil filter grip pliers. And they got these little teeth on here, and it basically allow you to grip the oil filter a lot better. And this is what I use, because sometimes the oil filter wrenches, they slip off, or basically, to me, these never fail me. These always work. It always gives the oil filter. I never have no issues getting this oil filter off of these. They probably, like, if you're in America at AutoZone, these joints probably cost you like $15, bro. Well worth it. Well, let me slide up some more, y'all. Then we're gonna try to get this other filter off. This old filter off. All right, so I know y'all, I think y'all can see it. So the actual filters right here. This is the one I put on last time. This is the Nissan filter. I bought it straight from Nissan. But in Spain, they got a Nissan dealership, but I'm not driving 45 minutes to get a Nissan. A Nissan filter, so I drove like 10 minutes down the street to get this Fram filter. Works exactly the same. So we're gonna get these grip claws. We're gonna see if we can get this daggone thing, this filter off. see. All right, y'all. So the verdict was, let me show it off. So the verdict is, the place I went and bought my oil filter from, the first place I went to, they gave me the wrong shit. So that's the first thing. Now that I got the right one on, because I did go to the other place and buy another one just in case this shit happened. Now, we put oil on this other one. The second filter I bought, we did put oil on it, on that gasket, so it'll hold. You shouldn't have to get your filter no more than, honestly, hand tight, y'all. You shouldn't have to He-Man your oil filter. If you got to, then that defeats the purpose of that gasket that you put on there. So as long as you get it hand tight, and it's like pretty sturdy, pretty much to almost where you can stop turning, then it ought to be good. That's just for y'all information. Alright, y'all. That's how you change your oil filter. I know some people like, oh, I'm just gonna pay somebody to do it. That's fine too. But I think it's good for everybody to know how to, just in case you ain't got that luxury of paying somebody or having somebody else to do it. But this ain't all for this video, y'all. I'm really just getting the day started, for real, for real. I'll tap back with y'all when from under this car. And today I think I'm gonna go to a bike dealership and go look at some more motorcycles. But I'll be back with y'all in just a moment. Let me finish this up here. Alright, y'all, so got my oil cap already off, got my funnel. Now we're just gonna add oil to this daggone engine. And we're gonna get it right. Y'all. So right here is 5 liters, or probably a little bit shy of what, 5 quarts in the States. So, or yeah, probably a little bit shy of 5 quarts. So I always buy a little one just to top it off. But before I add that small one in, I always take my dipstick, see what my level's at. Of course, the oil needs some time to settle to the bottom too, but I decided to get us a quick little guesstimation. Of where she possibly could be at. So right now we're reading good, it's full. But I always like to add a tad little bit more. I ain't adding all of this quart, but I might add a quarter of it. Alright, then we'll top her off. Then next, y'all, we'll let all the oil seep down to the bottom. Of course, where your oil pan is at the bottom of the engine. We're gonna put this fuel cap back on. And we ought to be good, y'all. In a few minutes, we'll run her. Make sure she good. Look at that, we be cooking with chicken grease. Yeah, look like I ain't never even wiped the car though. Yeah, it's hot as hell outside today. It got up to 103 out here in Spain, y'all. So back home, if it's hot too, y'all make sure y'all stay hydrated. Get some water, eat some food, find something cold to drink. and don't be outside too long. Or at least not like me, because right now, I'm dripping sweat. Literally. But yeah, she's good to go. Promise y'all, the motorcycle store, as I said I was gonna come do. We're about to go take a little walk around in here. I can't get that much footage, but I will talk to y'all about it in a few. My phone about to die, y'all. Give me one momento. Un momento. All right, y'all, so here's the showroom floor. We're inside now. Ooh. Hola, buenas. English? No? Huh. Español poquito. Hey, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I like this bike. Sounds good. Muy bien. Looks nice too. All right, y'all. Welcome back. So my phone died in the middle of this show. I want to apologize to y'all about that right now. My bad. I forgot to charge my phone when I left the house. It just happens to everybody sometimes. So I did get a little bit of footage, but we're gonna continue talking about the bikes I did look at. So one of the first bikes y'all saw was, I believe, the black bike. That is a QJ. Let me see. That is a QJ motor SRT 600 SX. That bike is going for €6,349 total. That's like the total price, taxes, and everything. With that being said, yes, that'd be a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but the bike is brand new with 0 miles, so which is beneficial. Another thing as well, I should include, the bike has a 6-year warranty on it. So if something does happen motor-wise, transmission-wise, brakes, throttle, I can always bring it back to the dealership, and they are abided by the contract that I signed to purchase the bike. So that's a whole other thing too. And that's the black bike. It's black and gray, and it has like the little. It's the one he started up and revved, right? Then they have its twin, which is the QJ Motor SRT 700X, which has a little more horsepower, a little bit bigger bike, has more torque, a little bit more top speed, but not nothing too different between the 6 and 700. Like nothing crazy. The display monitor is a little bit nicer on the QJ Motor SRT 700X, and the price for that one is €7,849. That's a little bit out of my price range, but it's still not a bad price for a bike, especially out here in Spain. So with that being said, the total for that one is €7,849, and that's the red bike that you guys are gonna see in the video too. It's red and black, has black writing on the side, and like silver accents. That one also has a 6-year warranty, so that's another one I'm looking at. Like I said, it's a little bit more pricier than what I wanted to pay, but at the same time, it's still not that bad. All right, so now that we talked about the QJ 600 and the QJ 700, now it's time to move on over to the Benelli. Give me un momento, or give me one moment. All right, so now that we're on to the Benelli TRK 502, this is a bike I have been looking at for a while now. It's a super popular bike in Europe. I think it's an Italian bike, if I'm not mistaken. This bike goes for 6,200, €90. That's everything said and done, taxes included. It is A2. It is an A2 bike. So for people who don't or who is new watching, in Spain, their license is broke down in like 4 different categories. You have your 50cc range and below, which is like your AM. You have your A2, your A1, and you have your Class A license. So I'm in A2. I gotta wait till I hit 2 years in order to get my Class A license, which that'll be where you can go 500 cc's or above. So the Benelli TRK 502 fits in that A2 class range, where you could do 500 cc's is your max you could go, or down, which is not bad for here from Spain. You really don't need much more than 500 to 700 cc's here anyway, because the traffic's a lot slower than America, you know. But that's neither here or there. But like I said, the bike is €6,290. The only downside with the Benelli, it has a 3-year warranty on the bike, said and done, which still isn't too bad, especially not for the pricing. But it's like, do you get more bang for your buck? Do I decide to get the QJ Motors 600, which comes with a 6-year warranty and a 600cc, which so has a little bit more power on the back end? Or do I settle, get the 502, A2 bike, and then have a less warranty, about at almost at the same cost? It's probably maybe less than a $70 difference between the QJR Motor 600 and the Benelli TRK 502 in price range. So, but that pretty much concludes this video. Like I said, I'm sorry my camera died, and my apologies to y'all, but we're gonna keep looking, trying to find that bike that feels right and that's correct for me. I'm not in a rush. I got some time, so y'all just be patient with me on this journey as I get more information on what's the process about getting a bike from Spain back to America. So, and this will also help people who are in the military that get stationed in Road to Spain too, in case they want to get a bike while they're here. So the more knowledge I gain, the more useful it will be for y'all in the future, and I will share my experience and story with y'all. But now I'm Raise J out. Much love, y'all. Be safe and keep supporting me. We're on the road to 500 subs. Right now we're at 406. Let's keep pushing. And I have exactly about 3 or 4 days before I finish this 30-day challenge of recording videos nonstop. Not gonna lie, this has been a little bit of a hard one, but I like the challenge. I might even go past 30 days, y'all. Now I'm Raise J out. Much love, y'all. Peace. Be safe.